Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Wake up, everybody. Welcome to the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. Good morning. Welcome.
Good
It's a blessing.
morning.
I was glad to see
Good
you.
morning. It's lovely to see these lovely faces. Beautiful. Good morning, fam. We are at day 320, and I get to be a part of that 320th day. I'm Tirza Barnes Griffin. Hello. And today we are talking about choosing you. It's okay to choose you. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, Teresa. Good morning. For those who are on Facebook Live, good morning to you. We love that you are on Facebook. Welcome. If you want a more intimate experience with us where you can communicate directly with me and with the community, we invite you to join us on the Zoom platform. Come on in so I can really get to connect with you. Good morning.
Peace and blessing.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Good morning. It's a good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Beautiful. Good morning, everyone. Wake up, everybody. It is Thursday. It is a day of celebration because we are alive, we are well, and we are together. We are together. Hello, and thank you for having me back. My name is Tirza Barnes Griffin, and I get to be your facilitator today. And I'm here to tell you that it is okay to choose you. Let's sit with that for a moment. It is okay to choose you. If you can, I want you to touch yourself, touch your chest, hold on to your chest. And I want you to say this after me. It is okay to choose me. Feel that. Sit with that. When we say it's okay to choose you, it's okay to choose me, what we are saying is it's okay to be fully in our power. It's okay to be in my power. So when I speak of choosing you today, I'm speaking of you being fully in your power and knowing that it's okay. You see, the choices that we make, we always have a choice to choose, rather. Let me start with that. We always have a choice to choose, and power is you. Remember this. We always have a choice to choose, and power is you, or power is us. They're one and the same. The choice to be ourselves and to fully live in our power are intimately connected. We have to decide to make a choice to be and live in our power. To be and live in our power. It's a choice that we make because the world makes it very easy for us to deny ourselves and to be disempowered rather than empowered. Our choices determine our destiny. Our choices determine our destiny. Where we are right now, in this moment in our life, today, is based on the choices that we've made. So I want you to step back for a moment and reflect and think about your choices as it relates to where you are today. Now, be careful to not move into a space of guilt, shame, or regret. It's just observation. You want to observe as you reflect, not become emotionally connected to it, especially if there are things that you're not feeling good about where you are today. You want to be careful to not go into an emotional disconnect, rather, because if you get connected to the observation of just reflecting, it's going to take you down. That's not my intent. But it is worth observing to think about some of the choices you've made and how they've put you on a path for your life. And as you think about the choices that you've made, have they been choices that consistently put you in a place of being fully in your power or not? That's what I'm speaking about. It's okay to choose you and make a choice for you that aligns with you always being in complement to your full power, always working in and moving in the capacity of your full power. This conversation is important because many of us struggle with this. Choosing ourselves is something that often is limited. We lack it. We don't do enough of it. And that's mostly because of how we've been programmed in society, the socializations that's connected to this world and what we're told about how to be. You know, think about some of the messaging that you've been introduced to about being all of you. Some of us have heard, don't do too much, be modest, be humble, don't expect too much of yourself because you may be disappointed, or you don't want to make other people uncomfortable in the space that you're in. So, you know, hold back, hold your voice, share the space. And those messages, what they do over time is strip us of our power, and we show up less than all that we are designed to be. Sit with that for a moment and think about it. We've received messages about how not to be in our power more than how to be fully in our power. And so what we do is we choose, when options present themselves, to not be in our power rather than to choose ourselves and flow in our power. And it's so subtle. This conversation is so subtle because we're moving and shaking. We're doing what we're supposed to do on a day-to-day basis. We're getting things done. But when you really sit and process and think about it on a day-to-day basis, how many times do you choose you to show up for you regularly? And how many times do you not do it? And let me tell you what the indicator is about whether you are doing it or if you're not. It's how you feel. It's how you feel after either you show up fully in your power or you don't. When you don't feel good, when you don't show up fully in your power, you don't feel like the queen and king that you are. You often feel less than. You question your actions and your choices. You may regret it later. You may feel down. It doesn't feel good because you're not lining up to your full self, your true self, your authenticity, your power. You chose to not do that. But when you choose you, there's something so enlightening and freeing in that experience. To choose you, to choose your power, to show up as all of you. There's a feeling it's intoxicating. It's surreal. It's good. So the indicator of whether you are choosing you or not is always in the feeling. So what I can ask you is, what feelings have you been having lately? Have you been choosing yourself? It's in the feeling. So I'm talking about power today. What does that mean? When we say power, that's often a confusing term for many, because power is, in many people's eyes, a hierarchy, in control, right? In a leadership position. I'm not speaking about that type of power today. The type of power that I'm speaking about today, and we're going to put the definition in the chat, is about seeing yourself. And get this visual as I read this definition. It's about seeing yourself, influencing, impacting, and creating. Seeing yourself, influencing, impacting, and creating the realities you want to experience from your higher self, your pure perfection self. So in listening to that definition, does this whole idea of choosing yourself sound more intense? Because notice when we speak about power, it's very much about you taking personal responsibility, period. Seeing yourself, influencing, impacting, and creating the reality you want to experience. And it comes from your higher self, your most powerful self. And so again, I ask you, have you been choosing you or not? Have you been seeing yourself, influencing, impacting, and creating the realities you want for your life or not? Have you been taking the personal responsibility? If you are moving in that direction, you are choosing you. And if you are not, that's okay too, because that's why we're having the conversation, because this is an awakening for you to start choosing you. So let's pause for a moment. I want to hear from our community. What's coming up for you? I know it's early, but have a conversation with me. You can even put something in the chat. Team, if you want to select someone who you think might be engaged, please do so. But as you listen to this conversation so far, just in terms of the opening, what are you experiencing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Okay, so so does someone speaking now?
You're good.
No. All right, so I am seeing absolutely not from Zakia, and important conversation from Nefertiti. No hands are raised yet. I'm wondering if Zakia, you'd be interested in coming off of mute.
I can do that. Good morning, Grand Rising family. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've chosen myself. I'm actually in process of choosing myself finally. In the process of a very challenging move, but the move is to give me a fresh start. And over the last week, yesterday being most profound, I had several experiences where my creator is telling me it's time to choose me. I was actually supposed to be on a plane, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, and missed the flight, rebooked, and missed yesterday as well. And when I went to rebook, because the first change they don't charge you, but after the first change you have to pay for the next ticket again. So the earliest that I could get a flight that I could afford was the 11th. My daughter recently moved where I'm going. I'm going to Atlanta. She recently moved there. I've been wanting to get back to Atlanta since I came back here in '95. She recently moved there, and part of the reason that I was still here in New York was helping her take care of her children. So now that she's there, I can go there, but not for her, but for myself. That's where I've been wanting to go. She had asked me when I got there, if I could babysit for her over the weekend. So when I was rebooking my flight, I wasn't thinking about that. I really care less about that. That wasn't my reason for going. So when I told her I'd miss my flight and wouldn't be there till the 11th, she lost her mind. She does that often, but the whole she kept on going on about how I was being selfish. And I just let her ramble on until she wore herself out. And after I hung up the phone, I said to myself, thank you. Well, I said not to myself, but to my creator, because all of this, everything that's happened has happened for very specific reasons. Many of them I'm still not aware of, but this one came through very clearly as she did that. If I had gone there and gone and babysat for her, I would have been carrying the same dynamic that we had here there. It was necessary for me not to be there for her because she doesn't need me there. She just wants me there. She didn't need me there to go to work or anything like that, which is why I was helping her here so she could work. She wanted me there so she could get a break from her children that she chose to have and go spend time with somebody who's coming to visit and hang out.
Yeah.
And her children's father is 10 minutes away from her. That was part of the reason she moved where she moved. Have him do it.
So Z, as you reflect on this experience, you said it's been a long time since I chose me. And you were actually about to enter into a whole nother experience of you not choosing you. And the universe came in and said, shoot, I got you. And it sounds like that was a wake up for you. And absolutely. I'm thinking about what you said in terms of I'm starting to choose me. So what does that look like? If you could briefly tell us or give us an example of how you are starting to choose yourself. Be very specific.
As I was saying, this whole process has been a wake up call for me. And throughout this process, I've made some challenging decisions. I would have preferred to have made different decisions in certain areas, but every decision that I've made, even the ones that didn't turn out the way I expected them to, I've been considering other people involved, but I've been making it from what I felt was best for me overall. Like I said, some of them have not turned out like I wanted them to, and I'm learning the lessons from that, or getting the blessings. I call them blessing lessons from that.
Good.
But I've been making choices more around what's best for me, where I've not done that. Definitely since I've become a mother. It's my oldest child is 37. Or is it 38? He was born in 83, whatever that comes out to. So and more as I had more children, and as and then when my mom became ill, I literally put my whole life on hold to take care of her, including my children. It was all around her because she couldn't do anything for herself, and I became her caregiver. So I haven't chosen me in a long time.
Thank you, Z. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being open and vulnerable. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. You really set the stage for us. And listening to you, when I'm thinking about the definition of choice and choosing, and I'm thinking about whenever we're in a position of having to make a choice, we should always stop and ask ourselves very clearly, how does it influence me? How will it impact me? And in some ways, it may sound selfish because that's what we've been taught, to be selfish, to not be selfish, be selfless, and be of service to others. And what we do is neglect the greatest the person, the individual who requires the most important service so that they or we could continue to be in service of others, self. And so when it's time to make a choice, we're often thinking about everyone around us and not ourselves. And what that does is it disempowers us. And we may not feel it immediately because we feel like we're doing the right thing. We're doing good. We're in service of others, and it's giving us validation, and it's giving us purpose, and we're being seen. But then later, there may be some side effects to that choice of not choosing you or considering you. So what we want to do is whenever something is on the table for us, and it involves you in some way, but also involves others or something or some commitment, stop and say, how will this influence me? It's okay to ask that question. Ask the question, will I be in my fullest power by moving in this direction? And remember what we said power involves. It's about you seeing yourself in a way where you are empowered to influence, to impact, and to create based on what you want for yourself, your reality, from your higher self, your pure perfection self, not your low self, which is grounded in doubt, fear, shame, worry. Choices made from that spirit will never serve you well. But when you are making choices that align to power in your higher self, you are choosing you. All too often, we choose out of the worry, the fear, the doubt, the lack, the not enoughness, the low self, and it doesn't fit right, and it doesn't feel right on you. And you know it, but you don't honor it. You hang out in that space, but we have to break these habits. These are habits that we have to break. So that's why it's so important I'm having this conversation with you. What birthed this topic was a event that I was presenting at, a training event. And I felt like I had to, it was work trying to convince the group that I was leading, to appreciate yourself, express yourself, use your authentic voice. And the spirit said, tell this group, because there was resistance. There's communities that don't believe it's okay to be authentic and to be your true self and choose you and honor yourself. And the spirit told me, tell this group, it's okay to choose you. Such a powerful message. And so I'm passing this message on to you because there's a lot of resistance in the idea of choosing self and choosing you and choosing to be in your power. But again, when we don't choose ourselves and choose to be in our power, we are only being disempowered. So I want to give you the definition of how I define disempowered. So disempowered, and this comes from a colleague of mine, my D. Davenport, who came up with this definition, and I appreciate it. It's having the mental attitude that the power to change or create the reality you want to experience lies outside of your higher self. Okay. So, or your authentic self, your true self. And notice in the definition, it says mental attitude. So when you are not choosing yourself and functioning in your full power, you are in the space of disempowerment. Disempowerment is connected to how you think, your mind, what it believes, what it perceives, how it functions, how you function. And what oozes out is all the decisions and choices you make from what you're thinking. So when we say disempowerment, it's your mental way of being, your mental way of being. And so having the mental attitude that the power to change or create the reality you want to experience is not within you, but outside of you. Disempowerment. The truth is everything that you need is already within you. But walking with an energy and a spirit of I'm not empowered, I can't make my own choices, I can't be in my power and create the life that I want, is pure disempowerment. This is really what this conversation is about. It's about you knowing it's okay to create and shape the life you want. Every choice that you make shapes your destiny. So if you continue to choose you and you are your choice on a regular basis, and you operate in that power, whoa, what will you create for your life? If you choose you, not selfishly, because this is not a conversation of being selfish. Don't even entertain that. That's a mental attitude. It's just I'm not selfish, but I love myself. I honor myself and I know my power. And if I continue to choose that, wow, I will be powerful for this world. That's the way to think. So what we have to do, my friends, is build up our muscle in empowerment rather than disempowerment. So the definition for empowerment is having the mental attitude, going back to the mindset, that the power to change or create the reality you want, that you desire and experience, lies within you, within you, within you, from your higher self, the confident, pure, perfection, loving, joy, secure, a flowing in the spirit, soulful self. That's what we mean by the higher self. Higher, not lower. Knowing you can create the destiny that you want just by the choices you make every single day, especially in light of choosing you. You are then empowered and not disempowered. And what is the word in empowerment? Power. Then you are operating and functioning and manifesting your power. And in that, I guarantee you, you will see a world of change in your life. Let's stop, let's pause, let's hear from some people what's coming up. Any questions, thoughts, comments about this topic so far?
I see that Wendy made a chat, and I would love for Wendy to come onto Facebook, onto Zoom and share verbally.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that, Wendy?
Hi, Wendy. And we can put Wendy on spotlight if she's okay with that.
Yes, John, Carl, if she's on video, then that can happen. If she's not on video,
No,
then
I actually posted because I'm getting ready for work. I'm heading to my car right now, so I can sit. I'll be driving, so this is why I posted my comment instead of trying to come on.
Okay, so
yeah.
I can read it. I will read it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, please.
All right, she says, Grand Risings to Stars. I'm getting dressed for work. I just made the decision to choose me by moving back into my marital home after leaving 8 months ago. After an unpleasant roommate experience with nowhere to go, he didn't want me to come back and refused to let me in. I had to call the police to get in. Normally, I would do what he wants for his comfort and walk away, but I decided that I needed to do what's best for me. I'm part owner of the house, and if he's uncomfortable, that's his problem. I'm in a separate, self-contained room in the house. I feel so powerful.
Bravo. I feel so powerful. Oh, I wish I could talk to Wendy because I want more tea because that's good. That's good. Beautiful.
I have a few minutes before I pull off.
Okay.
Just a
So
minute.
is it okay? You can talk?
Yeah, I have a few minutes.
Okay. So you feel powerful because you chose you.
Me.
What did that mean, choosing you? Right? And not so much about the details. Go deep in your spirit. What did it mean to choose you? Like, what did that feel like? What did it mean? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, normally in this situation like this, or in the relationship period, I don't like confrontation. So I would normally just bend, do whatever it is makes him more comfortable. Right? That's why I moved in the first place. But I realized that I was not being authentic with myself. Whenever I do that, I was losing more and more of me in the relationship every time I bent over and give in and give in. And I say, you know what? I have no right to be looking around for a place to live when I'm legally supposed to be here. I'm doing it just because that's what he wants. And it felt, I think it was just the last drop in the bucket. I felt, you know what? I am going to do whatever it is I have to do to feel my authentic self. I had to do a lot of tears and talking to myself and support from the sisters and I eventually did it. And hear what? I felt like I could breathe. I'm like, why didn't I think of this all the time? Why didn't I stay in the first place and just, let him deal with his issues? So right now, I said I feel powerful because I made a decision for me and it worked. I did it kind of scary, but it worked. And I'm here and I'm at peace, Yes, I had to involve the police because he wouldn't bend. Even that was a big move for me because I that's not my pattern. But I had to do it because if I didn't, I'd probably be homeless because I'm in temporary accommodation. I was in temporary accommodation looking around for a place when I had a place. I had a place. I have not just a physical place, but a spiritual place, an emotional place that I had to reclaim.
Wow.
That's how I felt.
Wendy, thank you for blessing us with your story.
Yes.
I felt it. I see you. We see you. We celebrate you.
Thank you.
Oh, the takeaways from Wendy's story. She said, I was bending to make him, or let's just say they, think about it in your life, to make them comfortable. Bending, what a powerful word, right? We are whole and complete individuals. But what we do when we don't choose ourselves is we begin to bend, somehow become deconstructed, not whole, not ourselves. So, in my wholeness, my posture is tight, right? I'm sitting here, posture's tight. But when I start to compromise and not choose myself and bend, as Wendy said, I began to lose myself. I'm not sitting up the same. I'm not looking as fly as I used to. I'm not showing up being my whole self because I'm not choosing myself. I'm busy, or you're busy doing what they want to make them feel comfortable rather than thinking about what I need or you need or we need to be our most authentic, powerful, higher self. And then what would be the result or the impact? So Wendy had a choice. She said, either I'm going to be in a position where I'm not at peace, I'm not comfortable, or I'm going to have to choose myself. And it might be uncomfortable choosing myself, like getting the police involved, but it's okay. I'm choosing myself because I know what I deserve and where I belong. So sometimes we don't choose to choose ourselves and be in our full power because it may feel uncomfortable. It may shake situations up or people up. So what? We're worth it. You're worth it. Very powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from some other folks, other comments. What else is coming up in the chat?
Okay, Terry, she put in the chat, this was hard for me to do, and being a social worker didn't help. Choosing myself is empowering. I had to deal with a lot of backlash from those who had become comfortable with me not choosing myself. I held on to me like I was in a bad sea storm. When things settled, the sun shined. I was empowered to be me. I am with, okay, even if this means I'm alone at times, because I am learning to love me a little more each day.
Thank you. Very nice. So I'm hearing backlash. Who was that from?
Terry.
Terry. Backlash from other people because I chose me. You know, folks, the more we choose ourselves, the more we begin to meet up with our higher self. Wow, something just came to me. People are more comfortable being with us being in our lower self than our higher self. People are more comfortable with us not being in our power rather than being in our power. And I'm not saying everybody, because as you line up and meet up with your power, you're going to connect with a circle of people who are in their power and y'all just embracing each other's power. But until you have the courage to step out and honor your power, and you're still dealing with individuals who don't appreciate it, they're just not going to appreciate it because it's more comfortable for them to be in your lower self because it works for them. But as you start rising up and recognizing, whoa, I'm a spirit child, a soulful child, one with the creator. There is no time for lack, doubt, and not enoughness, but I'm perfection. I'm love. I'm joy. When you start moving in that space, if the people are not moving with you, it's very difficult for them to adjust. But if you keep choosing you, that's all that matters. You're going to find your path. You're going to find your way. And that's what Terry shared. Even though there was backlash, she still continued to choose herself. And in turn, she's benefiting and reaping the fruits of her investment. The return on investment is coming back full, where she's at peace and one with self. We have to have the courage to choose us in spite of those around us. Even with our children, it's not selfish. What's selfish is you're not choosing you. All right. What other comments are coming up? Let's talk to some folks. Anybody wants to be coached or talk through something that they may be experiencing? Let's tap in.
Teresa has her hand up.
Okay, Teresa, go for it.
Hi, good morning, family. This conversation is like it hit me like
You're on mute, Teresa.
I said this conversation hit me like a bullseye. It was like bam, right? It hit my whole body, my everything. It's like I'm in here crying because I have been choosing myself, and then I went back to that behavior of not choosing myself. And I the good thing about it is that I do have tools to remind me to go back to myself, but I don't want to go back to that lifestyle because I know that it wasn't healthy for me, and I need to like continue on choosing me every time because I'm worthy of being chosen, and I'm worthy of loving myself and doing what's good for me, not what's good for others. And I had to make a decision this week, which made me sad, but I got the revelation of it last night, is that I had gotten back into my old habit that I could not see that I was not choosing me. So it has been sad for me, but I still feel like I made the right decision to choose me.
Mhm. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for sharing. Mm. It's funny how last night you had the revelation, and this morning was your confirmation. How about that? I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Anyone else wish to share? Do we have anyone else? Mhm.
Yeah, I saw it in the chat. Purple. So Purple, do you want to come off of mute?
Hello, Purple. How are you?
Hey, Tirza, I'm good.
Good to see you again.
Well, I'm good, and thank you. Good to see you again. Great to hear you as well and be with you. Thank you for your contribution at the top. I've been conflicted probably the last 5 weeks. My mother was diagnosed with cancer in February, I believe it was. Had a successful surgery in March, and we're finding out it's a phase, it's a journey, right? So the treatment and all of this. But prior to the cancer diagnosis, she lives in LA, I live here. She's in a marriage that does not serve her and has been for a long time. And I let go many years ago. Did my best because I see how I was attached, trying to fight, struggle, get her out of it, all of these things. And then what that was doing over here. So I let go, and it's been great. She's been really empowered in this last year, and I've been trying to go visit her, and she's been no COVID, no because of COVID, no because of COVID. And then with the cancer diagnosis, I've just been participating in her care from here, which is a different form of letting go, right? And then it's been now more of a tug of war with my stepfather and I over her care. And me not being allowed to be there. Though she has, and there's aspects of this that's difficult because I've been the person since I was a child told that I was going to take care of my mother by her, which was difficult because I was the child. So I needed to undo that for myself, and I felt like I had been, but she has always expected me to take care of her, even though her husband's 13 years younger than her. So I kind of snapped out of it and was like, wait, you have someone who took a vow, who's right there. And the things that I'm involved in and asked to be done when you have a person right there in your house, wait a minute, you got to demand a different level of love. And that's a difficult conversation to have with her. And I felt like it was selfish to have that while she's dealing with cancer. I've been conflicted around what does it look like to respect her space and her journey, and what does it look like to empower another sister who's my mother. And now I'm all out of sorts, fucked up. And she just told me, well, you can't come because he said it's going to be too negative. You're going to come with negativity. And on the flip side, she's like, I'm so glad I got a daughter. You're the one, you're supporting me and help me with this. And I'm just like, well.
So Purple, you said, I've been asking myself, what does it look like to empower another woman, right? Did you say that?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And so I'm here to tell you, you're asking the wrong question. Because as we choose ourselves, it's really, what does it take to empower me?
Myself.
Like, ask yourself that. Say it out loud.
What does it take to empower me? And thank you to Jackie, because we were talking about this last night. She said I was going to get this today. My friends have been inviting me to be with them. And this morning, as you were talking, I was listening. I said, it's been my motto to go where I'm invited. Don't try to force myself around people that don't want me around. And there is a level of rejection. I don't think it's intentional for my mother. I think it's her situation. And it's obviously, we talked about it last year, just with COVID, there was a chance we would never see each other in a physical lifetime again. And I needed my mother. I think I was trying to see her because I needed her. But if she can't be, she has to be there for herself. And I have to respect that. Like, I want to respect that. So empowerment for me looks like Look, it's crazy, but like the first thing that just came to mind was mothering my damn self. And not that I need to mother myself. I have mothers. I have Jackie, I have communal mothers, but what does it look like to have unconditional love for myself, compassion for myself, be gentle with myself?
Yes, yes.
That would be empowering.
Yes, because in this struggle with your mother, you're doing just the opposite. You're not being gentle with yourself. You're not loving yourself. You're worrying. You're overwhelmed. You're thinking the rejection spirit is coming up. It's this whole story of emotion. And so what do I need to do to empower myself is the question you have to keep asking. Am I choosing myself? Those are the questions. It's okay to take your eye off your mother. And I know this is hard to hear, but you cannot be in service to your mother if you are not in service and in alignment and in one with yourself, Purple. You can't. You have to find your peace. See, there's a reason why you're here. You got to get your sanctuary right. Your sanctuary here, your sanctuary is self.
That feels good.
Release yourself from that. Mommy's going to be good. And I know there's emotion attached to it. But
It's been an obligation. You know, I'm 42. It's been 36 years of hearing what I'm supposed to do at this time in her life.
And do you understand that this is a program? I always talk about programs of socialization. You have been socialized. And now you living with the burden of that socialization that you can change, undo, deconstruct, deprogram.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt her while she's going.
No. There's no hurt, because when you start to break the pattern in that program and start taking care of your sanctuary, you're going to show up even better. You're going to teach her a thing or two, but you got to get you right. And you're consumed into the programming of don't choose you, choose me. Wow. That's the program. Oh, wow. I just got that. How about that? We talking about choosing. You've been programmed to not choose you. It must end. It must end. I want to curse. You know, when I feel like I get like shit. Woo!
Right. Amen.
Do you feel that?
I do. I'm like my breath. I'm like that. For everything from I am a sanctuary, and I was programmed. And you know what? God bless all of us because she was programmed. Oh, yeah. And I respect her because she did not take care of her mother. So she was like, I'm doing me. She does her very well. And I yes, it is. I will do me.
Yes. And so there's a process to that. There's a work to that. And you know, I'm going to offer a complimentary coaching session to the community. I would love for you to reach out to me. Let's talk about that, because there's a work. You got to build that muscle up, because it's going to come for you. It's going to come for you. Mama's going to do what mama does.
Do me might look like I'll go to LA and see you, but I'm going to do it on my terms and not
as long as your sanctuary is right. You got to make sure your sanctuary is right.
It may not be healthy. It may not be.
You got to make sure it's right. So, you know, I commend you. This is beautiful. Great work, Purple. I'm excited for you. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, community.
Yes. Wow. I felt that. That was some good work there. Celebrate Purple. So my friends, we are about to reach the 8 o'clock hour. I know you all are getting ready to head to work. Before, we're not wrapping up at this very moment. If you can hang out and stay, please do so. But if you have to leave, thank you so much for being here this morning with me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to grace you with what God has given me, and to allow me to do the work that I do. I so appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. Kenyofi, are we going to the video or anything like that, or should we keep moving forward?
Oh, we can keep moving forward. It's
okay.
7 minutes to 8. We have plenty of time.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Did anyone else want to share, connect, or anything come up in the chat?
Yeah, no, nothing in the chat yet. So if anyone has anything, you can come off of mute.
Peace, this is Abimbola.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I would like to share something, and this really confirmed that I did the right thing in choosing me. I was in on and off a relationship for almost 40 years, and I wanted more. I wanted commitment. I couldn't get commitment. But I had a friendship and I had a relationship, and just to put it blankly, it was basically a booty call, and I wanted more. And I decided almost 3 years ago that it wasn't serving me. I wanted more, and I was dumbing myself down, settling. And I decided to walk away from that relationship. And so it's almost been 3 years that happened. And now, unfortunately, the person passed away in January. In February, he passed away. But I felt so empowered when I talk about the relationship. I celebrated the good, but the main thing that makes me and my soul is at peace is that I chose me. I stopped settling. I had settled for so long. And I look back and like I said, I can celebrate the good. And I feel so good that I chose me. So thank you. You really put the icing on the cake to let me know I have no regrets because I feel empowered. So thank you for this message this morning.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for sharing. What's standing out for me based on what you said is I wanted more. I wanted more. So I want to take you all through an exercise of thinking about right now, what are you up against in terms of, and not even up against, maybe an opportunity where you have to make a choice. And then the center of that choice is you, right in the center. And there's a whole lot of, messages, notes around, points around that choice, but you are the center of it. And I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions, like, what do you want? If you make this choice, is it going to give you more of what you want or less of what you want? Is it going to allow you to operate in your power and see yourself so that you are influencing, creating, and impacting what you want for yourself? In this choice that you have to make with you in the center, will it allow you to be of your highest self, your higher self? In making the choice, will you flow in the choice from your higher self? Think about this. Anybody want to share something they are up against right now? There's an opportunity that you have right now. You're trying to figure it out. You are in the center of it. And let's play around with it. Anybody wish to share? Right now, we all have choice. Every day we're making choices. Every day. Should I work out or not? Should I eat that next piece of cake or not? Right? Those are little things. And then there are big things like, is it time for me to end this relationship because my true higher self knows it's no longer serving me? I know it because it's how I feel, because I'm bending too much, because I'm working too hard at it. Any type of relationship, even a relationship with the workplace. Anyone wish to share? This will be our last year. Go ahead.
Can we hear from Nefertiti?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Nefertiti.
Okay. So
I'm here. I'm here.
Hello.
Hi, good morning,
What's
Tirza.
up, beautiful? How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
Good. Can we do the split screen so we can see her? Is she on camera? Hey.
Hey.
So what's
Hey,
going
hey.
on?
Good, good. I think this is such an important conversation because even when we choose ourselves, there are moments that we revert to not choosing ourselves. And I just think, like, for me, I don't know, I think that in every moment, for me, I just have to like breathe and stop before I make decisions, even small decisions. Even decisions as to whether or not, I mean, do I want to take this phone call, even though I know I have something scheduled that I'm supposed to be doing, but if I don't take the phone call, they're going to be upset, you know. And so in every moment is such an important part of just daily life. And sometimes it's really hard to do, especially with family. It's hard to do. And I just feel so blessed to be here with everybody's being vulnerable and sharing and thankful for you as well and sharing with the community. And it's just an important conversation. I deal with that every day. I think we all do. Even like I said, on very like, I had to do that actually. Now I was trying to think. I was like, what do I have? But I had to do that yesterday. Like I had to cut off a conversation with a family member that I love very much. But I told this family member that, if the conversation, gets to a point where it's acrimonious and respect is not being, I'm just gonna hang up. And I hate, everybody who knows me knows I hate this. Hanging up on people to me is like, I consider immature, but now I've had to do that because it's like, I'm not going back and forth. I'm not going to have a conversation that's going to disrupt my spirit, and you just won't stop. Some people just won't stop. They just won't stop talking. So I just have to hang up. And so that was how
So let's go into this. The conversation, go back to feeling. What was happening, not the details of the conversation. What were you experiencing by way of the conversation? Feeling.
Anxiety. Yeah. Anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, anxious.
Did you find yourself going in circles? Did you find the conversation going in circles?
Most definitely. Because all I was doing is saying, I'm trying to, I didn't say trying. I said, I'm giving love and compassion.
Nefertiti, you don't even have to give us the details. There's something that I want to point out. In the moments of feeling anxious, overwhelmed, you are outside of your higher self. You are outside of your soul and your spirit. You're not in oneness with you. When those experiences come, they are an indicator and a red flag. The light is blinking. Stop.
Yeah.
Will you choose you when you feel those experiences? Teaching and training and programming says, no, you got to work it out, stick it out. But your body is telling you, get the hell out. So you got to choose you. You got to choose you. I had one of those conversations about a week ago. I know that conversation. And I was trying to do the dance because it was my mother and I love my mother and I want to be there for her. I don't want to disappoint her. See some of the programming. You got to show up for your mother. Boom, 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 boom. But I was being torn down in the moment. I was like, yo, what is all the energy work I'm doing is like, this is like being snatched from me because it's mommy, right? And then finally I was like, I got to go. And then somebody said to me after, what you need to work on, Tirza, is your insecurities about you and your mother. You felt like you had to be there and show up for her and present yourself and not say, I'm going to stop this and give up, not necessarily on you, but this moment. That was eye-opening for me. Like, wow, wait a minute. There's something going on in me where I felt like I had to stay around and do that dance. There's something going on in me where I felt I had to stay around and do that dance. More work for me. That's why I get up every day and do my inner work. Thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for that opportunity. Now I know what I need to work on. Because here's what I decided, and this is the final message for today, y'all. We can no longer entertain other people's mess. People are only in fight with themselves, not with you. And so we have to say, when people are fighting with themselves, I choose me, goodbye. Let's talk later when you get in alignment with your higher self. Because see, I have to stay in my higher self. Did y'all get that? When you fighting with other people, it's only a fight with you. That's your own internal fight. Because when you're in alignment with your higher self, you're not picking and nicking and complaining about a whole bunch of stuff. So choosing you is choosing to be at peace with yourself consistently also. And then when you are engaging with people who are not sharing that peace, choosing you is saying, deuces, let's talk later.
Right. So basically that's what I did.
All right, good.
Yeah.
You amped me on, Nefertiti.
Yes. I just said, let's talk later. I said, I can't talk to you when you're in this state, so I'm going to go. And then I got, a barrage of text, and I did not respond back and forth with the text. I just sent one text that said, I have clear boundaries and I can't do this. So I will talk to you later, and ignored every text that came after that.
You chose you honored yourself. Now, how did it feel? This is important. How did that feel? Because did it feel freeing, or was there like this voice in your head like I'm not doing the right thing? I'm curious. What was that like for you?
It felt freeing. It felt freeing, and I still held the truth that I still love this person. This is a close family. I love this person, and it felt freeing. I even texted, I love you, and I have clear boundaries. That's why I hung up.
Ooh, yes. That's a powerful woman. You queen. Go ahead. Thank you, Nefertiti. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Wow, what a great conversation this was today. I had fun. Did y'all have fun? Look, I can have fun by myself, right? I had a good time. I enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for being open and vulnerable and sharing and wow, just connecting. This is beautiful. All right, where do we go from here, team? What's next?
Tirza, do you know we have until 8:30?
Oh, we do. Oh, okay. I'm not rushing y'all. Okay. Anybody else want to hop on, share? I saw a comment coming from Facebook. Did we want to bring that up?
Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I did see that also. So now it's up there in the thread as I go find it. Okay. Jessica Black says, as a single mom with grown children, I've done my part to raise them, and I'll always be here for them. But it's time for me to choose me now.
Yes. And if Jessica was with us, I would ask on Zoom, what does it mean to choose you now? Right? In every moment, really, what does it mean to choose you? It's every moment stopping and thinking, what do I need? What do I need so that I feel that I can influence, impact, and create the realities I want? So if it's, I need to go for a walk and leave the house from everybody right now in this moment, that's a reality. If you feel you need to create that, the power is going and creating it. It's constantly creating experiences that you want, creating realities that you want. Very important, not what other people want, what you want. So maybe the conversation can move into what is it that you want and how do you create that reality? Anyone else want to hop on?
Yeah, that's a good question. I see Taylor was possibly intuiting the upcoming question. So she says, not saying no to the person, saying no to the moment. Yes, she was actually quoting you. And maybe Taylor, do you have an experience that you can add to that, and you can come off of mute?
Yes, that really, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having just having this space for everybody. That definitely really stood out. So thank you for sharing that. Just thinking about an experience. Let's see. I would have to think about it, but that really definitely stood out for me. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, wait a minute. What stood out for you? What specifically?
when you said like no to the person, so the reason why that stood out is you're not saying no to the person, you're saying no to the moment, is because it's like feeling guilty for saying no, feeling guilty for setting boundaries, because it's like, oh my gosh, I have to be there for this person, I have to be present, and I'm the type of person that would have the longest conversation I had with a stranger was like 10 hours, like that's pretty crazy, like what? And I'm a coach. The longest, like I had like a 2-hour call, 3-hour coaching calls, it's, and just, I had to take a break at the last 2 weeks of April for my coaching because I was just doing too much. I was overextending myself with not only like my clients or potential clients, family members, friends. It's just too much. So I feel like that's definitely something that I'm still learning for sure, to set those boundaries and stick to those boundaries.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. We
Absolutely.
appreciate that. Yeah. I'm thinking about the saying no to the person, right? Sometimes it actually is no to the person, but it doesn't mean you're not connected to them, or like Nefertiti says, you still love them. But saying no to the person or to the space the person is in, it's not a bad thing. The moment is the moment. But so imagine when somebody calls you who's not in a higher space. They're not operating and pulling from their higher self. We have a choice to either entertain it or not, right? We could support them, but we're not going to do the dance with them. So that's saying no to the person, but it's not the person, it's the space that they're in the moment, right? I love you, but I'm not gonna line up to those beliefs that you're believing about yourself. So I'm saying no to you in terms of what you're thinking, feeling, and believing, because it's not true. I love you, and I'm saying no to you in that space, and that may feel hard, but I can't do this dance with you because it doesn't line up to what is real and what is true, And it's funny. I guess it's so connected. But the point that I want to get at is, again, it's not neglecting the person. It's not loving the person. Sometimes saying no to the person is a way to love them too. And it's a way for them to see love for themselves. Any other thoughts or comments? Anything in the chat?
Jacqueline, come off of mute and share, please. Thank you.
Good morning.
Hi, Jacqueline. I've been waiting for you, girl. How you doing?
I'm doing really well, and I've been trying to stay in the background because I'm very close to Purple's story. But I basically, because I come from a family where there was addiction. My brother is addicted.
Can we get the split screen? Sorry, I want to see Jack.
Okay. All right. I come from a family where there is addiction, and my brother is addicted. And I watched my mother enable him over and over again. She's still doing it. She's 93, 92 years old, and my brother's 60 something years old, or damn near 70. But I see this a lot, not just in drug addiction, but in other addictions where you allow people to be dysfunctional because you're supporting it. You're enabling them. You're there every time they fall to pick them up and to help them. And they never hit that bottom. Sometimes you have to let people hit the bottom. And it's very painful to you because you're so connected to them, but you have to step back. And I've had to hit the bottom. I think I hit the bottom just before I had my coaching with you. And I was at a point that, and I couldn't see myself. I couldn't see what I was doing. I didn't take responsibility for what I was doing because I couldn't see that. And you helped me to see that, and to see that I am responsible for my own happiness. I am responsible for my own life. I am responsible for everything that I allow into my space. And that includes other people's demands, other people's needs, and all of that. You do not serve them or yourself by giving up yourself to help them stay dysfunctional.
Say that again, Jackie. Say that again.
You do not save yourself. You do not help yourself by allowing other people to continue in their dysfunction. It just doesn't make sense. And as as I get older, I think for a long time, I did do that. I did it with my son. I probably done it with my daughters. I've done it. And I'm finding now that I'm letting some of that go, and I don't have to be involved in their dysfunction. I can stand on the side and say, oh, well, okay, that's something that you have to deal with. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. And I love you. But like Nefertiti said, I have boundaries.
That's it.
Love you, but I have boundaries, and I'm not going to allow you to take me down. I am not getting on that ship with you and sinking.
Yeah. And you know what that ship looks like? I don't know if you said S-H-I-T. I said
no, I said ship, but it's ship.
You know what that ship looks like? It even comes up when people start to gossip. Talking negative.
Right.
Like engaging in negative thinking and talking. This just came up for me, so I want to put it out there to the community, because even in that, we're not choosing ourselves. It's low.
You're right. Because I had a friend come over. I haven't seen this friend in a long time. She decided to stay for 8 hours. But the conversation kept going back to the gossip, kept going back to the negative energy about this other person. And I kept moving the conversation in a different direction. And it got to the point where I got tired, and I decided, you know what, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. 8 hours is a long time with a girlfriend sometimes. I love all people, but
yes.
But
so I slid back into it for a second, but I was
a second. But here's the thing. Most people are programmed to focus on what's not working, the negative.
Yeah.
Right. And so as we build our circle, the circle has to be with people who are moving from the higher self, who are moving in their power, focused on their power. Because even the conversation, sometimes I can have conversations with people who are very close to me and my family, but they're so programmed to identify what's not working. And I choose me by moving away from it. There's no point in having that conversation. No, it's not. I don't want to talk about it right now. You know why? Because it messes up my frequency, my vibration, my joy. It interferes with the balance that I want to have that feels good as often as I can.
I'm glad you said that, because I've been very in tune to my frequency lately. Very in tune. And if I'm not there, then my body feels shaky. It's just not a good feeling. So I am definitely being more in tune with my feelings and how conversations, even television and all of that, if I feel something and it's bringing me down, I turn it off.
And more of that is going to happen as you continue to nurture that high frequency, that higher self. So this is, again, you choosing you. So when we define power, seeing yourself influencing, impacting, creating the reality you want. Your reality, the desire that you have, is to be happy, to be at peace, to have joy, to have life, to have love. So even conversations and TV shows and certain type of company, if that is interfering in that desire, then that means you have to choose you and move away from it. Notice how little and how big choosing is when it comes to you. Whoa.
Yeah.
A type of conversation you have, so little, but it has so much impact on who you are on the inside and what you feel.
Yeah, sometimes I just tell people straight out, you know what, that's 5 minutes of my life I can never get back. I see you later.
That's it. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. This was good. Thank you. Always good to see you.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, team, if we don't have any other comments, we can definitely begin to go into our slides and wrap up. But if there's someone who wants to hop in, I'm happy to do so too.
All right, so I don't see anything yet. That doesn't necessarily mean that someone's not trying to come on. So I'm looking in the chat. Afriye, do you want to come on and say something? Or Terry?
Good morning, Tirza. This is Afriye.
Who is this? I'm sorry.
Afriye.
Okay, hi, how are you? We could get the split screen, that'd be great.
Oh no, I'm not coming on screen.
Okay. No problem.
So I was just really, when you were speaking about the gossip, I was like, preach. Because I feel like when you have to call another person and get on, as I call it, the hotline, and now start downing someone else, I feel that that speaks highly to your state of being at that time,
Yeah.
and not the person's state of being that you're talking about.
Mm.
I personally just had an incident. I don't know if it was this week or last week. I was on the phone with someone and they were just like coming at me. And I was just like, okay. However, the situation is, and they wouldn't let me talk. And then they hung up on me. And I was sitting there like, oh no, they didn't.
Mm.
So I started a text to, express myself like, I can't believe you hung up on me. And then they called me back. And this time they called me back and they cursed me and they hung up again. And that's when I said to myself, they're running in a circle and they're chasing their own tail. And this has nothing to do with me. Honestly, my hands are up, Creator, because I haven't even said anything. Like, you yelling at me, you screaming at me, you're accusing me, and you're cursing me out, and you're hanging up. So I left the whole situation without any residual effects. And I would tell you that there's other spiritual work that I'm doing. And I said, thank you, God, because if I was not doing this other work, and if I was in a space, in a place where I was not able to hear you and my ancestors, where I was at before, that would have had me scratching like I got fleas.
Certainly.
But
Yeah.
it didn't. And I
Mhm.
had to step aside and look at myself and say, oh, snap a free A, look at you. You are not bugging out like you used to do. Look at the space and the place God has got you in. Look
Yes.
at where you are at. So I had to hug myself and thank myself. I had to journal. I did. But I had to hug myself and thank myself. And right now, whoo, it's bringing me to tears because I'm so proud of myself.
Mm.
I'm
Yes.
so very proud of myself where I'm at and why this did not bring me back to the space where I used to be.
Mm.
Like, Afriye is my spiritual name. And I say this, there's one person that knows this about me. My given name before would have came out like, I'm gonna tell you how we gonna deal with this, because
Right.
you don't know about me. But it didn't. And I looked at myself. I'm just like, amen. Thank you, God. I'm
Mm.
doing the work.
Bravo. Wow. Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
And thank you for saying all you said.
Mm.
Thank you today. And Nefertiti, thank you for yesterday, because y'all two got me like my wings are flying. The
Mm.
conversations really got me going. And I thank you all. And I thank the woo too. Okay, I gotta go.
All right. So I need to say this. If you can listen, it's for everyone, of course. We are perfection. We are people who are pure, beautiful, soulful spirits. It's all one. We are also consistently unfolding and evolving and expanding. So, what you just described is expansion, unfolding, the caterpillar to the butterfly, the rose seed blooming into the rose. That is what this is about. That is what life is about. I just saw something that said waking up. Yeah, waking up, unfolding, expanding, evolving. And you know what? The process of evolution requires tears, the washing. The tears are perfect because when you see yourself evolving and expanding and being and getting closer to who you really are, wow, it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. So those tears are so welcomed and we so appreciate it. And those are tears of celebration. Amen and amen. Thank you for that. Yes.
And Terry, go ahead, Terry.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Tirza, I am always excited to be a part of the conversation with you.
Thank
You
you.
always challenge me to take it to another level. I'm very appreciative of that. When you hit on the gossip thing, sometimes I just, for a moment, I just get an attitude when I even see the number, and I'm like, nope, not even answering, because I know where that's going. And I don't want no parts of that. How is that going to help me to be a better person? How's that going to help me to take me to my higher self? And it's not. So I'm quite all right being alone in here by myself, happy with myself, than involved with other people and being miserable. And I thank the Woo community because it has come into my life at a time when I really did need folks who were like-minded. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being with us. Beautiful. Okay.
Yes. I don't see anybody else on deck.
Okay.
So this might be our time to close out.
Can I just tell Tirza thank you, Tirza. You don't even know how much it's helping me. Just listen to everyone. Thank you, everyone who's spoken, because I have been fighting physically and mentally this week, and it has been challenging. And just to be able to have this tools today is going to help me, make better decisions. On a daily basis. I really thank you. I just want to say that personally, not to interrupt, but I really, 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 really want to say how much it touched my life today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Teresa. Receive. Thank you.
Okay, so Tirza, do you want to share your offer here?
Yeah, sure. So friends, if you want to continue this conversation, book your complimentary life strategy session with me. This is a 45-minute coaching conversation where you bring to the table anything that is on your heart that you want to process and discuss. My role is to be a listener. My role is to guide and support as needed. My function is truly out of the spirit. I'm listening to what the spirit is feeding me to share with you whenever we have these sessions. And so it's an opportunity to get clarity about something that may be heavy on your heart that you're working through. Maybe there's a choice that you have to make. And it would be an honor to serve you and to have this complimentary session with you. 45 minutes, real talk. All sessions are recorded. You'll get the recorded session after so that you can process and reflect later on. And then, if you want to continue to work, I'll be happy to serve you. But book your session today. I believe the link is put in the chat. Okay. Let's stay in touch, y'all. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I think I covered them all. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Yes. Feel free to follow me and stay in contact. I'm often posting events that I'm having that you can participate in, just anything motivational and inspirational in terms of a lot of what we even talk about here today. If you want to speak to me directly, feel free to email me at tirzabargriff@gmail.com and visit my website, tirzamotivates.com. So as a professional, I do this as a speaker. I'm a coach, but I also am a professional development consultant and trainer where I go in organizations and provide training to teams and staff. So if you are with an organization and you're looking for a dynamic speaker, hey, reach out to me. I would love to join your team. All right. Can go to the next one. So it was truly an honor to serve you. This is what I do. The greatest gift to me, the greatest offering is to be able to have a platform to be my authentic self and to be able to share and do what God has called me to do. Speak, and to assist people in expanding and evolving into their higher self. It is truly an honor to be on my own personal journey and in my growth, be able to share that with others. And so this platform allows me to do that. But if you feel compelled in your heart to bless me with a love offering, That would be amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I receive and believe in true abundance and prosperity, and love when my Cash App goes ding ding because you got blessed, because I got blessed. So feel free to send a love offering if you like. And it's Mother's weekend too. I could go get my nails done. All right, what's next?
All right, what's next is actually who's next. And that's tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday, May 10th. We have Candace Harper and Amelia Blake joining forces to come together for a workshop called Drama for Mama. Sounds very interesting. So do come on to check on Candace and Amelia's presentation. And if you're new in this space, we thank you for being here. And we ask you to keep coming back. And new means first day, it means first week. And it could also mean first month, since this is the beginning of the month. So do drop your name in the chat so that we can see you and say, hey. So I'm going to ask John Carl to look and see if there's anyone there that says I'm new, so we can give them a little shout out. We're here 5 days a week on Zoom live. Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday are our long days like today. We always begin at 7 a.m. On these 3 days, we end at 8:30. And on Monday and Wednesdays, our short days, we end at 7:30. And we are always streaming live on Facebook. We have Wolf swag for you. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, masks, and cups. Go to bit.ly/Wolf swag to get your swag today. Let other people know about Wake Up Everybody just in the way that you move, where you go. And for them to register, to be in the space with you, you want them to go to bit.ly/Wake Up Movement. This will get them into our database for the week. We need to re-register every week because every week we have a new lineup. And Facebook is available. You would need to go to bit.ly/Woo community so that you can be approved into the community, and then you will see the replays. If you've missed a live session, you can catch it on Facebook. And we have Instagram and YouTube and email. If you have any questions, you can check us out at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And today is Thursday. Today is the first Thursday, and this is the day that we would have you all stay over. However, we're unable to find someone that was available to be that person. And so we're asking you to email us. And it's info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And I will say, I'll take this moment to say that we're still definitely looking for volunteers. And this is a role right here, just having someone come after session to talk about Wake Up Everybody is a role. So if you feel like you could be that person, just let us know. There are also some other roles that we are in dire need for, and that is Zoom team, someone to be in Zoom to do the slides and the conversation with the audience on behalf of the facilitator. We also need a person to help the facilitator get onboarded so that they can be ready for these moments. And we also need someone to create the slides for the facilitator. So the slides that you see, they are put together by a team that needs you. So we need you. Email us, please. I'm complete. I'm going to put Tirza into gallery view, and we all can give her. So John, can you stop the? John, can you stop the spotlights?
Yes, we are on gallery view.
I see spotlight. So Tirza and Teresa are spotlighted.
Okay, wait, sorry.
Okay, great. So now we are in gallery view. Everyone give your thanks to.
Thank you, Queen Tirza.
Thank you,
Thank you
Tirza.
As a
so
only
much.
worker of
So
one.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So
Thank you
much.
for
This was
being the
amazing.
light.
Have a great
It's
Thank you
day.
so much,
relation.
Tirza. Very
Allowing us
powerful.
to
Love
To me
y'all.
is
yes,
important.
you so
And
lovely.
let's
Thank
move
that
forward,
so very
everybody.
much.
Bright
Thank
like the
you,
bright like the
Tirza.
sun. So
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
It was a
Yes,
wonderful
thank you so
revelation.
much.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Succinct
Thank
and to the
Thank
point.
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Look at that
Thank
beautiful
Y'all,
you.
and y'all have
smile.
a beautiful day. And let's move forward,
Love.
everybody.
Thank you.
Awesome
Thank
queen.
you.
Awesome
Yes,
conversation.
Thank
thank
you.
Community.
you.
I love you, love you, love
Thank
you.
you
See?
so much.
Thank you for calling me out on a positive way. Thank you. To my
Thank you,
own
Tirza.
advancement. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. It was
Love
wonderful.
y'all. Love y'all.
Thank
Love y'all.
you.
Thank
I'm
you.
choosing me today.
I